This is a guide to help you understand some terms and acronyms all about solar panels, batteries and home energy. It's in alphabetical order, so you can scroll through and find the term if you're after something in particular. AC, or alternating current, is electricity which changes direction and voltage. This is used in your home to power all your devices, which you can easily turn on and off with a simple switch. Battery, specifically home batteries, can be installed at your property to power your house. The main two reasons are to save you money by charging it up from the grid during a cheap period, depending on your tariff, or to store energy from your solar panels or wind power generation, and then power your house during a more expensive period and avoid importing from the grid. It can also be used as a backup power supply to your house if there's an issue with the grid, like a blackout. They can cost several thousands of pounds and need an electrician to install them, so they're a medium to long-term investment. DC, direct current, only flows in one direction and it isn't really suited to the way that we use our devices in our home. DNO, distribution network operators, are licensed companies that are in charge of the physical infrastructure of the national grid, such as the cables and the transformers. They're regulated by Ofgem and they charge you to use their equipment via your energy supplier. DOD, or depth of discharge, is how much of the battery I've used. So if I've got a 10 kilowatt battery and I've used 1 kilowatt, my DOD is 10%. Some manufacturers might quote a maximum DOD for a battery, for example 95% of 10 kilowatts, which means I can use 9.5 kilowatts. ENA, Energy Networks Association, is an independent organisation that represents DNOs, distribution network operators, and they work with the government, power stations and other parties to manage and enhance the national grid. Export. If you have a battery, solar panels, or wind-powered generators or other means of providing green electricity to your property, you can also export it back to the grid. You need permission to do this from your DNO, plus an export smart meter. G98 or G99 are regulations about the generation of green energy and its exporting back to the grid. They're managed by the ENA and are part of UK law. If you export up to 3.6 kilowatts, you'll need a G98. Over 3.6, and you'll need a G99. Your installer can apply to your DNO for a G98 or G99 for you. You can't export any electricity until you have this approval. Grid, or the national grid. This carries power from power stations around the country to your homes and other properties. Irradiance, or insolation, is the amount of solar power from the sun hitting a given area, usually measured in kilowatts per square meter. kWh, kilowatt hours, means the amount of electricity measured in kilowatts that flows per hour. This is how your energy supplier counts how much electricity you've used or exported. They call this a unit. You might pay 35 pence per unit. So if you run a 1 kilowatt hairdryer for an hour, you've used 1 kilowatt hour of energy, or 1 unit, which costs you 35p. MCS, the Microgeneration Certification Scheme, is an independent organisation that certifies green energy installations using their high set of standards. Installers can join the scheme and then get their work inspected by the MCS. As long as their work meets the MCS standards, they can apply for a certificate for your home installation of green energy generation, like solar panels. Most energy suppliers require an MCS certificate before they'll permit you to export energy back to the grid. SOC, state of charge, is simply how much charge is in a battery, like 50%. Import. This is how much electricity you import from the national grid to power your home or your home battery, and you'll pay your energy supplier for this. Inverter. Solar panels produce direct current, or DC, electricity from the sun. Homes use alternating current, or AC. An inverter changes the electricity from DC to AC, so your solar panels can power your house. You can connect all your solar panels together in a line called a serial string, then feed this line into a single big inverter. Alternatively, you can install a microinverter on each solar panel and run them in parallel. Serial is cheaper, but the panels are affected by each other, which can be bad, like if one has a problem with some bird droppings or shading. Parallel is more expensive, but the panels run independently. SEG, or Smart Meter Guarantee. This is a government scheme, been around since January 2020, to pay small green energy producers in Great Britain for exporting their energy back to the national grid. It's currently around 15 pence per kilowatt hour that you can get for exporting your energy. Shading. This is the amount of area and time that your solar panels won't be in direct sunlight and therefore will be producing less energy than if they were in direct sunlight. Smart meter, or SMET, S-M-E-T. This is the meter which the main cable from the grid passes through into your property, and it measures the amount of power going through, which your energy supplier then uses to work out your bill. Old meters are not smart. Newer meters are smart. There could be a generation 1 called a SMETS 1 or a generation 2, SMETS 2. There are many problems with the generation 1, which is why generation 2 smart meters should be installed now. To export energy or to join many smart energy tariffs, you'll need a generation 2 smart meter. A lot of energy suppliers will install one for you, sometimes free or for a small fee. Supplier. Energy suppliers are in charge of buying energy from producers like power plants and people with solar panels, and selling energy to consumers like you and me to power devices in our properties. They pay DNOs to use their cables and infrastructure to get the energy to you. Tariff. An energy tariff is the service from an energy supplier which you sign up to in order to get power to your house. Tilt. This is the angle of your solar panels. Usually they're at the same angle as your roof. Ideally, the tilt should be the same angle as the latitude of your home, which is about 30 to 45 degrees. In the UK, it's around 35 degrees. If you've got any questions or things that you'd like to know about solar, please stick it in the comments and I'll try and get back to you. Or some people who watch this video might be able to help as well. Also check out Facebook, there's some great solar related groups on there. Thank you for watching. If you found this useful, please give it a like and then I can make some other videos that might be helpful, and subscribe. Thank you.